Welcome back, guys. So earlier this year, I took a look at the Pandora's Box 18S arcade machine, which was a two-player arcade stick you plugged into your TV via HDMI, had 4,000 games included. Now today I'm going to be reviewing the newest version, Pandora Box 18S, which I was told was an upgraded version that now includes 8,000 games instead of 4,000. So when I first received this, took it out of the box, there are a few things that immediately stood out to me. For one, I have no freaking idea why these companies who produce Pandora Box arcade sticks or clones use the form factor of the Capcom home arcade stick. That was a weird design choice for that machine to begin with, but it was made to be in the form of the Capcom logo for it. In these instances where it's a completely different design being used, the form factor makes absolutely no sense. It's not like it's more comfortable to play on or as appealing, in my opinion. But on the concern of comfort, we'll get into that in a moment, as I do have some things to point out. Now, beside the design, this uses some halfway decent buttons and sticks. Not the best, not the worst. I'd probably rank them slightly below average when it comes to no-name brands of components. They can all be swapped out to your preference if you desire, as the stick can be fairly easily opened by removing the 3 screws on the back, and there's little hinges on the front, and you can lift the panel up and get access to all the different components there. Now, I also noticed that the entire base of this stick is made of some kind of metal, lead maybe, I don't freaking know, but it doesn't look as nice as I'd hope. The spots where they welded pieces together look really wonky and weird. The craftsmanship on this metal base is not that great. Looks like a high school project or something, I don't know. Now, as far as playing on this thing, is it an upgrade compared to the previous version I reviewed? Well, really only if you consider having double the games an upgrade, because performance-wise and options-wise, I don't see much of a difference here. You still have to deal with the stretched image for most systems this machine supports. No in-game or menu options to change to the original aspect ratio here. My other complaint with all these types of devices is the lack of system-specific controller remapping. Most games that require the use of more than 1 or 2 buttons is simply not mapped properly, and it requires you to remap for the entire system. This is fairly annoying. I mean, really annoying, to be honest with you. But as far as performance goes, I tested out pretty much every system this supports, and while most things perform just fine, you'll still have the typical issues with graphics glitches or sound issues with some Dreamcast and Nintendo 64 games, making me not even want to bother with them. PSP, PS1 seem to perform okay, and as to be expected, all your old school Super Nintendo, NES, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx, all those kind of games play just fine. Now, there's a lot of games here, but for whatever reason, the makers of these boxes usually have weird names for a lot of titles, especially for like NES and Super Nintendo. So good luck finding exactly what you want to play in some circumstances. So this machine also has Wi-Fi built in like the previous version, where you can access an online download section to add more games for free. I've tested this in my previous videos and it works just the same, nothing new here. This machine also has a built-in LED light to illuminate the acrylic top piece, which does have a fairly nice effect. They include a power button to turn it off if it's not to your liking, so that's cool. Now, my biggest problem with this machine isn't really with the way it performs or the things that it does, as it all seems fairly standard to what I've come to expect with these types of devices. But my main issue is that it's just plain painful to play on this thing. The edges of this Capcom logoed top panel are very sharp and rough. If resting my palm on this machine while playing, it feels like it's slicing into my hand slowly. The frickin' meat slicer here. I know a lot of people enjoy these types of devices, and I would as well, but I've just not seen them improve much. I want to see aspect ratio options, buttons preferably being pre-configured per system to where it just makes sense, or in the very least allow per console button mapping that sticks. This just seems like most of the rest of these devices throw a bunch of games without rhyme or reason to how the machine handles them and just fly with it. A lot of casual players won't mind or give a crap, but the rest of us expect a bit more with our Soulja Boy emulation machines, right? And this one just doesn't hit it for me. So there's my review. Not much of an upgrade in my opinion. But hey, if you're interested, link will be in the description. Ploy Labs sent me the previous one for purpose review.
they sent this one as well. And I think not just with my criticisms of the device, I think the price that they're charging is pretty damn ridiculous as well. But hey guys, really do appreciate you hanging out with me. Means the world. And with that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom. Bye.